What if we could simulate emotions in the physical world? What if trust, motivation, burnout, and empathy weren't vague ideas, but patterns we could see and forces we could design for? Welcome to the Business Physics Lab, created by Professor Thomas Hormaza Dow. Our lab is a place where we turn the invisible emotional systems of business into something visible, measurable, and real. Because business isn't just about numbers and plans, it's about people. And people are emotional. We say things like, morale is low, people feel disconnected, there's a lack of trust. But what do we do with that? We track revenue, but we don't simulate resonance. We manage productivity, but ignore pressure. We talk about culture, but don't model how it moves, through space, through teams, through time. That's the problem. We've built highly structured businesses without ever designing for emotion. At the Business Physics Lab, we approach this differently. We don't treat emotions as a side effect. We treat them as systems with inputs, outputs, flows, thresholds, and constraints. We use a physics-inspired framework to make sense of motivation as force, momentum as progress through resistance, trust as the structure that holds teams together, friction as misalignment between people, tools, and space, empathy as the bridge that keeps systems human. These are not metaphors. These are real dynamics in physical business environments. We have developed 20 principles of business physics, tools to map emotional flow inside an organization. We simulate how pressure builds in a product team, trust erodes in a misaligned hierarchy, clarity spreads through a culture of feedback, burnout emerges when systems lack renewal. We work with synthetic agents, representing employees, customers, competitors, not to replace people, but to do a preliminary analysis and further hybrid tests to help us understand the situation better. Because here's the truth. You can't lead what you can't see. You can't improve what you don't understand. And emotion, real, human emotion, is at the heart of every team, every strategy, every sale. The Business Physics Lab gives you a new lens, not for control, but for clarity. Not for perfection, but for alignment. Not just for performance, but for people. This is how we redesign business for a human future, where empathy scales, where culture is intentional, where emotion moves with the system, not against it. Logo Business Physics Lab. Tagline simulating emotion, designing for trust. Call to action spoken. Join us. Let's simulate emotion in the real world and build better companies from the inside out.